Brad, how do you assess things at the turn of the year? What's there for the Ospreys to play for? Have you still got ambitions to get in that Champions Cup?
Absolutely. Obviously, a lot of for us to get there. There's other things that are out of our hands that need to happen as well. But the only thing we can control is what we do down here on a week in, week out basis, and I think that's where we've really buckled down over the last 4 to 6 weeks and focused on the week to week, and I think we've seen a massive upturn in terms of performances and also results.
How do you evaluate your Christmas performances?
Really competitive. Obviously, we've still got another fixture coming up this weekend, in a derby game. But if we look at just the Scarlets game and the Newport and Snapshot, those two games in particular, I think we've shown a lot of intent, a lot of endeavour about what we do. The weather conditions for both games have been pretty tough for both teams, and we could be sitting here right now 2 from 2. So as it is, we've got 5 points out of a possible 8, and we're looking to try to turn that into 9, possibly 10 points, and that concludes our festive period.
That Dragons match showed a bit of character, didn't it, after the defeat in Llandarcy and the manner of it?
Yeah, I think we always come back and try to look at our performance first, but any time you lose a game in injury time, it's always a bitter pill to swallow. Probably makes it even tougher to swallow knowing it's against your local rivals, but I think for us to take a champion team and arguably be in control of the game, come to the 79th minute and to lose it at the death, shows that it showed us that we're very competitive and that we're turning things around. So we really took those positives out of that game and brought that into the Dragons game. I thought the Dragons game, it was attritional. Obviously the conditions weren't great, but again I thought the pack gave us a terrific foundation. Defensively we're looking stronger with each game as we go, and it was a game that we had to grind out. I think we got to the deserved result this time.
How are your injuries? Daniel did pick them up on, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, unfortunately. So he's going to have to go away for scans there, and it's absolutely gutting for Dan. He's since he's come back into the team, he's been a rock in the back row. He gives you that physicality that you need, especially without the ball. So he's definitely going to be a loss for us. So hopefully, once we find out more information with the scan, we'll see the way forward for him. But yeah, it's really it's tough for him, the player, but it's tough for us as a team.
What's the initial prognosis on it?
It's something to do with the bicep. Could be tendon in the bicep somewhere, but again, it's not looking too great.
Is there a rough time scale on it?
I couldn't tell you right at this moment, yeah. But do you know what I mean? You try to look at best case scenarios, 6-8 weeks, but worst case scenario, they've got to operate. So we'll know a lot more about that once he has a scan and the medics can plan the way forward.
So it's a bicep, you say?
Yeah.
Right. So is there a risk that
I don't know if it's right bicep, could be left bicep.
Yeah.
Right.
Is there a risk that he might sort of miss the Six Nations?
Again, too early for me to tell, but there is definitely there is a risk there, yeah. Yeah, because obviously, if you have your worst case scenario, I know players before who have had bicep tears and they've had to have operations, they could be 12, 16 weeks, possibly longer. So it really depends on the extent once they get all the information back from the scans.
As you say, gutted for him because he's been playing really well, hasn't he?
Outstanding.
To get back to where he was.
Oh, absolutely. Just starting to get into the flow of things for himself as a player. Works hard on your game. I thought he's given us definitely impetus without the ball in terms of his shot making and his physicality. He's great. He's obviously still going to be around the squad, but hopefully it's not as serious as what what it could be. But yeah, gutting for him, the player.
How do you cope in the back row with so many people? You know, James King is out, Dan Baker is out, Dan is out now. As defence coach, I guess Dan is irreplaceable for you as a defence coach.
Well, he's definitely a weapon that I'd rather have in the team than out of the team. But we're lucky enough in our back row stocks that, you know, we have guys like you know, Rob McCusker who can step in. You know, we've got Guy Mercer, we've got Will Jones who did really well out at Munster. But again, you know, you look at the quality that you're losing there, and any team that loses that kind of quality in the back row, especially defensively, is going to be missed.
You've been pleased with the way the side is defended?
Recently, I think we've leaked too many tries for a number of reasons, you know, so far this season. But I think the last 4 to 6 weeks, I think we've improved our defensive game immeasurably. We've taken up to another level, and I think we've shown a real bite to us. So I'm looking for that to continue this Saturday.
Is there any further news on George North and whatever decision you might sort of make as regards his whereabouts next season? I
haven't heard any news. I know he got injured on the weekend. I think it was, and or the week before, and no, I've heard he's coming back to Wales. Where he ends up, I think he's still up in the air as far as I know.
He'd be some acquisition, or would be if he did surface at the Ospreys.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, a fit and healthy George North, he's one of the best wingers in world rugby. So, you know, I think wherever he pops up, if he is healthy, you know, he is definitely a weapon, and he's a player of outstanding quality.
You play Cardiff Blues this week, and they've got some dangerous backs, haven't they?
Outstanding backs, yeah. They've you know, we were speaking about it today in our meeting. You know, the centres, both centres have got X factor that if they get situations where they got 1-on-1, they can definitely do you damage. The 9 off anything broken field, he's alert and electric. The 10, I think, is playing really good footy at the moment and can put the team in the right place, as well as being a running threat. The back 3 can have moments of brilliance. So, you know, for us defensively, it's about not getting spooked by all those kind of players, but putting a structure in place that we can be aware and actually putting them on the back foot, whether we've got the ball in hand or whether we don't have the ball in hand. So it's going to be we're going to have to be absolutely alert for the full 80 minutes.
How do you counter the attacking skills of Matthew Morgan?
Obviously limit his opportunities from broken field as much as possible, accepting even before the game that he's going to have his moments. There's going to be his times. Putting a defensive line in place of him as quickly as possible. So, you know, possibly, you know, sacrificing on kick chase a bit of yardage on your kick chase to connect up as a line, and within those 3s, 5s, 7s of your defensive line, you know, being patient and talking him up. So he's a real threat. He's going to have his moments, no doubt. So he's an electrifying player when he gets a bit of space and time. So we're going to have to be especially on our kick chase and off turnover ball, we're going to have to be very alert.
Guess you look at it and think, well, you've got attacking threats as well.
Absolutely, but that's for them to look at.
Who's pleased you? I know it's not your area, but who's pleased you as an attacking threat this season? Dan Evans?
I think Dan has built on his game from last season. I thought he was a real attacking threat last season as well, especially off counter. I think what Dan shows is he's a resilient character. Doesn't miss many games. He wants to get the ball. For me, Dan has a great eye for a gap. He's timing into a gap. He's probably, you know, second to none, really. He can definitely eye a gap, and he has that acceleration through the gap that is really difficult to stop. So he's definitely impressed. I think at certain times of the year, there's been different players here and there, but I think what we've shown over the last 4 to 6 weeks is a 15-man mindset that we need to get the job done. I think that we've been quite scintillating, you know, in the Champions Cup. and played some of our best attacking rugby. The conditions over the festive period probably haven't allowed for that to show itself, but I think as a squad we're heading in the right direction.
Good.
Yes, from me. Any other injuries? Obviously, sort of Paul James, Corey Allen, and I know Reece Webby came back on. Are they available for the weekend now?
Corey, again, we have to wait for that scenario. He's getting treatment. Lidge is doubtful, obviously. Paul is doubtful as well, with his shoulder. So all those three guys are going to have to go for scans and get checked out. So I don't think they're going to be there or thereabouts. I don't think they're going to be there or thereabouts for the game.
What sort of injuries did they pick up?
One was a chest injury. The other one was a bicep, and Paul James was a shoulder.
You got any players coming back, Brad?
We have Dav Howes who's coming back into training, and he's available. He's just started his contact progressions, so he should be with a chance for this weekend. But apart from that, there's not too many coming over the hill.
And Reece Webby right for Saturday?
Yeah.
He came back on.
Yeah, Webby's fit and ready to go.